Do you like food? I love food, but I want my food to be healthy. Have you ever thought about growing your own garden? I have. My family and I, we started our own garden, an organic garden. And our vegetables just seem to be tastier, and we enjoy our garden. I may not grow the biggest vegetables, but I know that they are healthy and nutritious for my family. My children seem to enjoy the vegetables more now than they ever have before. We did this together as a family, as a unit, and we had a lot of fun. It was a lot of work, and we really enjoyed it. The important factors, however, for us for this is that we're doing it without chemicals or pesticides, which is what organic gardening is. The most important factors are that it's healthy, and for the monetary benefits, it's cost effective. It's also very readable. It's delicious is the side effect. Whether we eat our food fresh, picked right that day, right that moment, we jar it, we can it, we hydrate it, we freeze it, it's always available to us all year long. Fresh vegetables, however, are not always available in the store. And I know it says fresh, but are they really? And I end up buying processed food. And I admit it's easier, it's not cheaper, it's more convenient though. But what I'm concerned about are the continual uses of foreign products, the processing. It's all put into the foods, and it's making people sick. The development of new allergies is a growing epidemic. In proportions, it's huge. Our children, my children, and my sister, myself, we all have to watch out what we eat. We have to be very careful about what the ingredients are in store-bought products. Gluten, soy, lecithin, dairy products, cinnamon, ginger. They're all major products. They're major ingredients in the products. And we have to watch out what's in them. It's serious. There are children in school that we can't bring homemade products to school. It has to be store-bought where the label is clearly seen and readable. They have immediate reactions. They're life-threatening. Not just stuffy noses and rashes or hyperactivities because of whatever is in it. My sister, she has celiac disease. She can't have gluten products. Gluten products are products that cause you to lower your immune system and gain weight. The main factor of that is that they're grown in soil that has been so overused that it no longer has nutrients and vitamins and proteins in it. Therefore, the food doesn't have it. Therefore, the consumer doesn't have it. Consumer doesn't have it, their immune system is lowered, which makes them sicker and sicker. The boys and I, we have to watch out for allergies. This last summer, I learned a very important lesson, which I already knew, but being that it was me, I didn't read the ingredients. For the kids, I always read the ingredients, and it takes a long time when you're grocery shopping, but it's necessary. I tried a product that I had had before, but it was a new flavor. It was supposed to taste better. Well, it had niacin in it. I didn't know I was allergic to it. It affected me with under 2 minutes, and I was rushed to the hospital. I blew up. I had hives all over. My heart raced. My breathing was very hard. I ended up on an IV, and it was very scary. It was very embarrassing. It's a big concern. We all need to watch out what's in the ingredients. What are they? Whether we want to know because we have a health issue and concern, or just because we need to know. We should know what's going into our bodies, what's in our foods. Is it nutritious? Is it safe? It's scary, very scary. The chemicals that are in the food is not the only concern, not just for, preservatives, but it's also the chemicals that are put in the fertilizers and other amendments like pesticides. They all have a poisonous effect on the environment around us. It's not just in the food we eat. As much as I want to keep the pests and the rodents out of the garden, the groundhogs, the skunks, the rabbits, the squirrels, the chipmunks, and the deer, doesn't mean I want to poison them. I just don't want them eating my food. I've taken other methods. I want to keep my family healthy. I want to give them healthy choices. But I also want to keep my environment healthy. It's in the soil. It's going to be around us, around your home, not just in us. And having a healthy garden and giving the children healthy choices isn't the only reason for having an organic garden. It's also cost effective. The price of fresh produce in the grocery store is rising drastically, as the fresh produce is actually not as fresh as most of us believe. My former supervisor, he is at the local co-op. He was a produce manager for a national chain of grocery stores. If you think about it, he's absolutely right. The produce is not as fresh as we think. It can be weeks, even months old. It goes from the farmer to the transporter, which goes to a local warehouse or a main warehouse, which is then separated and put into trucks for specific companies, which is transported again to the stores. How fresh is it? And do we know where it's coming from? How it was grown? Very few of us know where the vegetables that we're eating are coming from. How much pesticides and herbicides were the vegetables exposed to? What's in the soil? On a global scale, all living organisms are negatively affected by these applications. For this emphasis, growing organic vegetables should be given everywhere. Growing organically is a more expensive choice, but considering that everything is being raised because of the prices of gas, just for example, the increase of fuel is increasing the cost of the vegetables to go higher from shipping and farming costs. We're importing more vegetables from out of the country, and this raises the chance that our foods will be tainted by natural or man-made contaminants. Other countries don't have such strict health codes that we have. So can we really trust the large change corporations to feed us safely and nutritiously? When we buy organic products at the market, are they really organic? Where are they coming from? And organic foods, products, they are increasing in demand. So maybe, luckily, we will have a better chance to get the food that we really want and need. And having 5 very hungry boys is very demanding to keep my pantry stocked and to stay in my budget. So buying products from the store-bought isn't always on the menu. And knowing that I have healthy munchies in the house, knowing that we grew them healthily, things like carrots, celery, even scallions, it helps so much to have them on hand. It helps with a budget, it helps keeping with my boys satisfied, and giving them what they want. The boys have actually gone down to the garden and snatched a snack or two more than once. They've even encouraged the other neighbor kids to do it too. Which I'm glad the kids want to be healthy, but I have to wonder, is it the rascally rabbits or the rascally kids? So, but another cost-effective benefit from having your own garden is maintaining and feeding your garden is very inexpensive, actually. If you have your own compost consists of most kitchen scraps and garden waste, surplus, the weeds that you pluck, the scraps from cutting up celery stalk if you're not going to use the bottom. Some of us do. Most of us don't. The wilted leaves, they all can go thrown in there. The use of many different ingredients put into your compost will supply and replenish the important nutrients that we need for the garden to grow, and it helps your crop grow. And it also increases the insect pest repellence resistance, natural resistance, which is another major plus for having your own compost. You don't have to use pesticides. That's why we want to do organic to begin with. The kids like to help with the compost. They don't so much like the hoeing and the raking, but they do with the compost. They rip up the cardboard and crush the eggs and mix the soil. Most kids their age like to go night crawler hunting for fishing purposes. Mine do it for the garden. They go and they search for them and they put them in the compost, and they like to throw them in the garden. They like to watch them dig holes into the soil, and it aerates the soil, which helps. It helps the garden, but it also helps the compost because it keeps the smells down. Starting your own organic garden, whether you do it in a box out in your yard or a box on your windowsill, it's growing your own vegetables. It's doing it safe for you and your family in a healthy way, and it's helping your environment too. This is a great project activity for you and your family, or even your community to do. Everybody gets involved. It's educational, both economically and nutritiously. We have really enjoyed our garden. It's been very educational. It's been a lot of fun. I have enjoyed the clod fights, the jarring experiences, and I've learned a lot about homemade experimentations of the different recipes and finding willing guinea pigs. My older boys, they say that they enjoy the tomato jam the best, of jarring it. The younger boys say that they enjoy the clod fights best. So, growing your own vegetables, having your own garden, an organic garden, is both fun, economical, healthy, and it's nice to have those fresh vegetables readily on hand. I hope that you have learned something, gotten something out of this, and that you'll look into doing it for you, your family, or your community. And I want to thank you for your time. Enjoy your gardening.